Hey, what's going on, everybody? Dr. Sean J. Harris here, Generational Wealth Academy. Great Thursday, Saturday number 5 to everybody. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you. I'm going to title this talk, How I Bought a $60 Lexus. But I'm going to show you how you can expand a very small part of income and turn it into 7 figures. So first, let me tell you about the Lexus for 60 bucks. Many of you guys probably heard me tell this story before where I actually bought a car for 60 bucks. Had a good friend of mine one day, he said, hey, look, let's ride out. I'm gonna show you how to make some money. I said, all right, let's go. I trusted this person and I saw that they made money. So I said, all right, well, what do you got in mind? He said, well, listen, how much money do you have in your pocket? I dug in my pocket, said, I got about 100 bucks. He said, all right, let's go buy a car. I said, listen, there is no way possible that I'm gonna buy a car for 100 bucks. He said, let's go. Got in the car, we drove about an hour away to a place called Winder, Georgia, went to an auto auction, and lo and behold, I purchased a car for 60 bucks. It was a 1983 Honda Civic Silver. And I remember I bought that car, and this is a while back. So back then we didn't have phones like we do today. So we had to use this old fashioned camera that we put a little disc inside and it saves the caption on there. So bought the car for 60 bucks. At that time, you could leave the car on the lot for 7 days before you had to pick it up. So what I did was I went home and I took that floppy disk and I loaded it up on eBay Motors and actually sold that car that night for 120 bucks. So I doubled my profits. Keep in mind, I didn't have to pick that car up for 7 days. So my buyer was coming from out of state. He was already en route to come and pick the car up. So the $120, I went back to the auction the very next day and bought a second car. The second car was a Mazda Mirage. I think I bought that car for like right at 110, 115 bucks. So I still had like a $5 or $10 profit. But I then took that car, did the same thing, put it online that night, and that car sold for like 320 bucks. So I took that 320 bucks and went back to the auction the very next day. Bought a Q45. This is when Q45 was like really hot, the big box model. So I bought that. It was a black. No, this was gold. It was a gold Infinity Q45. Sold that car, made like 600 bucks. Took that 600 bucks and went and bought another Q45 that was on the lot. That Q45 I ended up selling for like 900 bucks. Took that 900 bucks, used a portion of that money, it's maybe like 600 something bucks, bought a third Q45. Now this third Q45 was a little different. It was what was called eggplant blue. Beautiful color. It's kind of like a purplish, bluish color with white leather interior. Limited edition. I ended up selling that car for $1,800. Then I kept duplicating that process over and over and over to where I ended up buying Mercedes, I ended up buying BMWs, to what I ended up keeping, which was a Lexus. But I still had so much profit margin there, I was able to keep duplicating that process and continue buying luxury cars, all for that $160. So I bring this up as a teaching point to understand it's all about a mindset. Wealth is about mindset and how we think. That's how we become wealthy. So let me further elaborate on that. So a lot of times you hear people say it takes money to make money, and that is not true, because I took that $60, which was a little money, but look at what I did with it. I continued buying luxury car to luxury car to luxury car and yielding a profit. So let me explain to you now why I say it doesn't take money to make money. You guys probably remember a couple weeks ago, Kennedy and Katie was both doing a pitch competition. And I went over some of the numbers of Kennedy's pitch deck that she was gonna do at that pitch competition. So let me go through those numbers just to kind of refresh you on that. Now keep in mind, Kennedy has her spice collection. So she has 2 different flavors. Initially, her supplier was gonna gift her with 50 bottles. And I gave you guys the math on that. So let me run through that right now. At 50 bottles that the supplier is going to gift her, that means that she didn't take her money out of her pocket to end up making this happen. So at 50 bottles, they're $125 and $1.25. $1.25 per unit. So she had 50 free units. That would give her 50 bottles at $10 a unit is $500. So that gives her a $500 surplus getting started. She take that $500, that will buy her 400 units at $1.25 each. 400 units times $10 is a $4,000 profit. So again, she's at a $4,000 profit just like that without any money out of her pocket. So the $4,000 would then buy 3,200 units, which would sell at $10 a piece. That'll be $32,000. $32,000 would then buy her 25,600 additional units. 25,600 units at $10 a piece is a $256,000 profit. And remember, this is all profit because the profit margin, she was already in surplus. So $256,000 now buys her 204,800 units. 204,800 units at $10 per unit is $2,048,000. So keep in mind, I told you these were the numbers when she was just gifted 50 bottles or 50 units. We just got word the day before yesterday that she's being gifted 200 units. So let's run the math on this. And again, this is money that's not coming out of her pocket. This is going to be money that's a automatic surplus. So 200 units at $10 is a $2,000 surplus getting started. $2,000 at $1.25 a unit gives her 1,600 units. 1,600 units times $10 gives her $16,000. $16,000 at the 1.25 unit gives her 12,800 units. At $10 a piece, that's $128,000, which will buy her 102,400 units. 102,400 units at $10 each is $1,024,000. $1,024,000 will buy 819,200 units. 819,200 units at $10 per unit is $8,192,000. So again, understand how numbers work. A lot of times people say numbers don't matter. Well, numbers don't matter to people who's not doing numbers. Numbers is everything. But here's the deal. You guys know how I feel about the educational system. I personally believe and know for a fact, because I have built wealth, I have created over millions of dollars before I turned 30 years old. Here's the deal. Numbers matter. But all it takes is a 5th grade math education to really understand how numbers can work for you and you can leverage these numbers. So I just shared with you all right there how she took a surplus, money that she didn't have to take out of her business, and we'll set this up. So we're working on contracts right now to get her in big box chain stores, such as your Kroger's, your Publix, your Walmart's, your Targets, and then she'll be able to create the volume that I just talked about. And I showed you how the numbers work. But again, because her manufacturer supplied her with upfront units, which equals capital, I just showed you how she can make $8.1 million in a relatively short period of time, just based on numbers. So again, it does not necessarily take money to make money. It takes relationships to make money. You have to have relational capital, and then that way you're in a position to have leverage to make the money that you're looking for. All right, guys, I just gave y'all like super dope information. I charge a lot of money for the information I just gave out to you for free. So listen, I invite you to connect with us at Generational Wealth Academy to get even doper information than what I just shared with you there. Because one of the things I always feel is important is that I have to be able to give you a value add. Because people want to see that you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, to be able to consult professionally and have a transfer of capital for my wisdom and my knowledge for you to be able to grow and create massive wealth. All right, guys, so again, if you want to connect and learn super dope things like that, understand how money works, how to be able to build wealth in a relatively short period of time, let's connect. Go to growfamilylegacy.com. Because listen, one of my mentors taught me, he said, if it takes you 10, 15, 20 years of doing the same thing and you're still not able to do the cool things in life that you want to do, that way of making money doesn't work. If you've worked a profession for 10 years, 20 years, and you can't simply go to the tire store and buy a set of 4 tires all at one time, what you do to make money doesn't work. And you have to find new alternatives, new options. All right, guys, I'm Dr. Sean J. Harris. Make impact and make money while you do it.